Somewhere in the ocean right now, a creature is dying. Its body is failing. Its cells are breaking down. And then, instead of dying, it does something that should be impossible. It turns back into a baby and starts its entire life over again. This is not science fiction. This is real, and scientists have absolutely no idea what to do about it. Welcome to Zentova, where we discover what the world forgot to tell you. Today we are talking about the one creature on Earth that has essentially cracked the code of immortality. It has no brain, no heart, no lungs. It is smaller than your little fingernail, and it may hold the secret to eternal life. Meet Turritopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. Let's start with what this thing actually is. Turritopsis. Dohrnii is a tiny translucent jellyfish, so small it measures just 4.5 millimeters across when fully grown. That's roughly the size of a small stud earring. It was first discovered in the Mediterranean Sea back in 1883. But for nearly 100 years, nobody thought it was particularly special. It wasn't until the 1980s that two students, Christian Sommer and Giorgio Bavistrello, noticed something deeply strange happening in their lab jars. The jellyfish they were studying weren't dying. They were shrinking, reverting, becoming something they had already been before. And that accidental discovery changed biology forever. To understand why this jellyfish is so extraordinary, you need to understand how it lives. Like all jellyfish, it starts life as a tiny larva. It settles on the ocean floor and grows into what's called a polyp. Basically, a small blob attached to a surface. That polyp then transforms into the jellyfish we recognize, a free-swimming adult called a medusa. In every other jellyfish species on Earth, that's it. The medusa lives, reproduces, and dies. But not Turritopsis dohrnii. When this jellyfish faces stress, starvation, injury, old age, extreme temperature, instead of dying, it does something extraordinary. Its bell contracts, its tentacles disappear, it loses the ability to swim. It sinks to the ocean floor as a tiny blob of tissue. And then, over the next 24 to 36 hours, it transforms. Its specialized adult cells essentially forget what they are. They revert back into stem cells. And those stem cells rebuild an entirely new polyp, restarting the entire life cycle from the beginning. Scientists call this process transdifferentiation, and it is virtually unique in the entire animal kingdom. Imagine if a butterfly, instead of dying, could transform back into a caterpillar, and then grow into a butterfly again, forever. That is what this jellyfish does. And theoretically, it can repeat this cycle indefinitely. Here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. Scientists have studied this jellyfish extensively, and what they found is almost unbelievable. You can starve it, you can bring it to extreme temperatures, you can physically cut it, you can expose it to UV light, things that would kill virtually any other animal on Earth, and it still doesn't die. Instead, it resets. One scientist in Japan, Shin Kubota from Kyoto University, has kept a colony of immortal jellyfish in his lab since the 1990s. During a 2-year period, his colony rebirthed itself 11 times. 11 complete life cycle reversals. 11 times cheating death. Kubota became so fascinated by this creature that he wrote songs about it. He regularly sings them at the end of his scientific presentations, which is perhaps the most wonderfully human response to discovering a potentially immortal creature. Now here's the question you're probably already asking. If a jellyfish can reverse its own aging, what does that mean for us? Scientists are paying very close attention. The process of transdifferentiation, where specialized cells revert back to stem cells, could have enormous implications for human medicine. Understanding how these cells reprogram themselves could unlock breakthroughs in regenerative medicine, repairing damaged tissue, treating age-related diseases, potentially, one day, slowing human aging itself. The immortal jellyfish maintains something called telomere length, the biological clock inside every cell. Most creatures see their telomeres shorten with age. This jellyfish essentially resets them. We are nowhere near applying this to humans, but the fact that nature has already solved the aging problem in a creature the size of your fingernail suggests the solution exists. We just need to find it. But here's the cruel twist. The immortal jellyfish, for all its extraordinary ability, is still perfectly capable of dying. It can be eaten by fish, devoured by sea turtles, killed by sea slugs and other predators. In nature, most of them never even get the chance to use their superpower. They're eaten before old age or stress triggers the reversal. Biological immortality is useless if something else kills you first, which, when you think about it, is a surprisingly human lesson from one of the most inhuman creatures on the planet. A creature smaller than your fingernail, no brain, no heart, and yet, it may hold the answer to one of humanity's oldest questions. How do we live longer? If you found this as mind-blowing as I did, hit that like button and subscribe to Zentova. Every week we bring you the discoveries so extraordinary, so strange, so utterly real, that you'll never look at the world the same way again. Drop a comment below. Would you want to live forever? See you in the next one.